Oh, yo, ¿qué pasó?
It's me, Tiffany, and my baby.
Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of
Marriage Mondays. Come on now. Yep. Hey, man. Thanks for tuning again in tonight, man. Look, hey, we're in for an exciting night, man. Tonight, look, we're talking about diamond status. If you have not tuned in since last week, man, like, look, man, we have been talking about diamond status. Diamond status. Look, Tiffany, I and me, myself, we are a strong couple with a mission. Look, I'm telling you, with a mission, guys, to encourage other couples to thrive and not just survive, man. Look, we don't want y'all just surviving, man. We want y'all thriving at the same time smiling. Come on, man. I'm telling you tonight, we in for an excited time, man. Look, last week we were talking about diamond status. Look, Tiffany had talked about the atoms, the two atoms being put together, and with the electrons surrounding the diamond, called the little hard carbonized substance.
Covalent bond.
The covalent bond. There you go. The covalent bond. Look, who's with me, man? Who's with me? Look, tell me who's in the chat, man. I see a couple of y'all in there. Who's in the chat tonight, man? Let us know who's in the chat tonight. But look, the covalent bond, man. We learned last week. Tiffany said that the diamond comes from the Greek word adamas. Huh? Adamas. That means unbreakable. Yeah. Unbreakable. Look, we want to encourage y'all, man, that y'all's marriage can be unbreakable. Just like the diamond. Check it out, man. Last week we talked about it. Look, before the diamond is ever discovered, it is hidden, right? It is hidden 90 to 125 miles in the earth. That's a long ways. It's under pressure. It said at times it withstands 75,000 pounds of pressure per square inch. Per square inch. Look, has your marriage been under pressure? Woo, I tell you, in 25 years, we didn't make silver status. We didn't make diamond status. Come on. We didn't make diamond status. First, not being put under pressure. Under pressure, right? And then we talked about how it goes through extreme heat. Tonight, guys, this is part 2. Look, part 2 is under pressure and fire. The first week, last week, was hidden and under pressure. Tonight, we're going to talk about a little bit more about under pressure and being under fire, huh? Come on, man. Who's with us tonight? Diamond status. Come on. Who's with us tonight? Diamond status. We want to encourage you guys to take your marriage to diamond status. But first, it has to be under pressure. They said the diamond has to withstand the pressure. And then after the pressure, it's got to go through extreme heat. Look, when we were studying this thing, the diamond actually in this raw form, in this hardest substance form, has to go through a lot of heat. Got to go through a lot of fire. Why, guys? Can anybody tell me tonight in the chat? Why does the diamond have to go through extreme pressure and heat? Why? Because the fire needs to burn the impurities. Listen, Linda. The reason why the diamond is put through such intense extreme heat is to burn the impurities. Come on, man. In 25 years, I can say our marriage has been put through the fiery furnace at times, huh? There was some stuff we needed to learn at a young age up to right now, man. Up to right now. So look, we're gonna get started. We hadn't even got started yet, but look, we're gonna get started. We're not gonna waste y'all's time, and I'm gonna turn it over to Tiffany, and she's just gonna hit it running, man. Hit it running. All right.
All right. So, like he was saying, you have to go, the diamond has to go under extreme heat. It says that carbon, which that's what it is, it's carbon in the beginning. It has to constantly endure pressure from heat to be the beautiful diamonds they become. Key word, constantly endure. Constantly endure that pressure from the heat. All right, so last week I took it on a twist because we explained how diamond is basically two atoms formed together through these electrons by a covalent bond. And I used the example that we are those two atoms and that God is a covalent bond that's holding us together to cause us to be unbreakable, right?
Yes.
So this week I'm taking it another twist. So we have to be under extreme heat. We have to be under fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's pressure. So for fire to keep burning, what do we need? Oxygen.
Yes.
Oxygen must be present for the fire to keep burning. They always say if there's a fire burning, don't open the window because you're going to create more fire, right?
Yeah.
That's true because of the oxygen.
Yes.
So then in this case, look at it. The diamond, which is our marriage, because we're trying to reach that diamond status, right?
Yes.
Needs oxygen to stay alive, which is God, to keep the fire burning.
Man, that's good.
So look at that. That's another good point. It's another twist. Like I like that it's just like bam, spot on. Like just like I said the week before, it's not by accident that we go through this process because God is revealing through the diamond process of how he wants us to be, how unbreakable we should be.
Yes.
So even though just think about if you're just under a lot of pressure, because in the beginning stages of our marriage, we have been under a lot of pressure. Yeah. A lot of heat from family members and whatnot. I had, my family, because I was so young, they didn't know what was really going on in my life at that time. And they just thought, oh man, she's turning out wild and crazy like her mother was. And, at my time, I knew I was in love. I knew what I wanted. I had already been a young mother. By the time I was 15, I was already raising my brother and sister. That started at probably around the age 11, 12, or maybe even younger. I don't know. But I was basically a mom already, put it that way, by the time I was 15 years old. And I was under a lot of pressure then. But coming into a relationship with Remy, it was a lot of pressure from the family because I was so young. They didn't want me to, in quotations, mess my life up or turn out like, live this wild and crazy life. And I, in my heart, was like, hey, I know I love this guy. Deep down, like, I was terrified at the same time that I knew that we were supposed to be together. I knew that I wanted a family. I knew I wanted to be a good wife. And I knew I didn't want a broken family. So I think that's what helped me out. It says, even though our marriage is standing in the fire and under pressure, we should know that God is our oxygen and he is keeping the fire burning for a reason. Why is that reason, guys? For our marriage to become the diamond he wants us to be while protecting us at the same time. So whenever you think that you just can't take it anymore, that you just feel like you just want to get up and walk out the door because nothing's going right anymore, or it's like, you just don't know what's going on. You don't even know what's going to work out. Just remember, if you know deep down in your heart that you're supposed to be with that man or be with that woman, remember that fire has to be burning. You need to go through that process of the burning and pressure phase, because how are you going to ever turn into that diamond if you don't let it happen?
Right.
You're going to stay coal.
Mm-hmm.
It says that you're going to be pure carbon is like coal. And what is that? You know,
Right.
if you can't stand pressure and you can't stand the heat, you're just, that's how you're going to stay.
Right.
So just remember that even though you're going through a hard time, just remember who God is and who's keeping you alive and your marriage alive. So the longer in the fire, the more beautiful a diamond will become. Which brings me to say, even if you ever feel like your marriage just can't take the pressure or heat anymore, think about what your circumstance is teaching you. Your circumstance, what is it teaching you? Learn how that circumstance is transforming, strengthening, and keeping your marriage alive. Trust the oxygen, live it, breathe it. Trust the oxygen, live it, breathe it.
Come on.
Remember, you're going through a transformation stage. Marriage is not supposed to be easy all the time. You're going to go through some things. This is the heat and the pressure that they're talking about.
Yes.
You have to go through it. If you just give up,
right.
Yeah, you're not going to be nothing.
Yeah. Still going to be that lump of coal.
Yeah.
In this first stage, yeah.
Yep. So you just do what I say here. Figure out what that circumstance is. You know what circumstances you're going through right now. Yes. See what it's trying to teach you. And trust the oxygen, live it, breathe it, and watch your marriage turn into the beautiful diamond it was created to be.
Whoa,
anything
man.
You got to elaborate on that one?
Hey, man, she like just laid it out, man. It's plain and simple. Look, we need oxygen. What is your oxygen? It's God. It has to be. God has to. He blew his breath inside the nostrils of men. He's the one that gives us life. Come on. What's up, Finlands? I see y'all, man. Alan and Pam, what's going on? I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Look, I'm telling y'all, man, if y'all's marriage ain't been putting through the pressure right now, look, I just know, man. I just know because y'all are newlyweds, man. Y'all's marriage if it hasn't, it's gonna be put into the pressure, man. It's gonna be put through the fire. Look, don't worry about it. Look, don't worry about it, man, because there's a time where we have to literally. I don't know if y'all know what a fiery furnace is, but in these big old plants down south, right there in B County, Missouri County, in Dow and all that, they have these fiery furnaces where in there is just nothing but I'm talking about 10,000 degrees, 20,000 degrees. Look, sometimes, look, guys, look, we have to literally just grab ourselves like, come on, man, get in there. You have to go in there. You have to get in there because you have some impurities.
Yeah.
Look, what she was saying, man, that was profound. Yeah. Look, after the show, watch it again because those slides, man, those were deep thought slides. She put those together. That was fresh from the throne room of God. Look, right now, this podcast, we've been on this podcast for over a year now. It's under pressure. People are talking negative about our podcast. I don't care. I don't care. Because why? You can't blow your breath. You can't breathe life onto this thing. This thing, me and Tiff got it, and God is blowing his breath on it. So look, mind you, not all our marriage is being put through the fire furnace, and so is this podcast, man. As we're putting it together, the clips and stuff kind of don't match our vocabulary, but look, we're gonna keep on going. We're under pressure. We're under pressure by God Himself because look, our testimonies can encourage y'all, look, to survive and not just thrive. But look, I want to jump into the next one because yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
It's just so easy to give up, and I just wanted to say, like, when I was going through all these notes and everything, and it was being brought to my attention what I needed to say, I was thinking, like, man, it says the diamond has to go through all this fire, and like some of them more than others.
Oh yes.
Some of them more than others is what I'm reading. Yeah. And I'm like, man, I asked myself, I said, why, Lord? Yeah. I said, if we've already probably just, I'm not gonna lie, probably just about a week ago.
I had to unmute it.
I had one of those feelings like, I wonder what would happen if I just walked out the door right now.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Come on.
I really, I still think like that. Yeah. I'm not perfect. Our marriage is perfect for us, yes, but we go through those times where I'm like, what am I even here for? Wow. Or what would happen if I left? Where would they be? Every single one of my family that I have here, counting on me. Yeah. But I have to take a deep breath.
Yes.
Calm myself down.
Yes.
And just say, trust that process. Like I said, I have to live it and I have to breathe it and then just enjoy every moment of it. Because even though we're under pressure and under all this fire, I just have to keep my eye on the prize and know that there's something at the other side of this.
That's right. That's right. Look.
So I just had to get that off my chest.
That was good stuff,
Before I forgot about that, little side note.
Can I get an amen? that was good. That was golden nuggets right there, guys. For real. Look, last week we even talked about in the negatory, in the negative situations, in the bad situations, circumstances that arise up, we literally had to be optimistic. What is optimistic? When we're put through the fire, brothers and sisters, look, when we're put through the fire, it's gonna burn. It's gonna burn. And what do I mean? Look, just to go into the next session, look, section. It's a process. Number one, I want to lay it out. It's gonna be a process. There's gonna be some tilling the ground. There's gonna be some uprooting. There's going to be some sowing. After we sow, we're going to go and dig up the seed. We're going to do all these kinds of things, and it's the process. Most marriages do not make it the first 5 years because the process got overwhelming. The reason why the process got overwhelming, guys, is because we stayed in a negative mindset. Look, I want to make something clear right now. Whatever happened in the past, it's in the past for a reason. I've said this before. If we're digging up stuff from the past, what are we digging up? We're not digging up diamonds. We're only digging up old skeleton, old ghosts in the closets and stuff like this.
Coal.
All the coal, yes, all the coal. And look, guys, these things take a process. We have to enjoy the process. Why? Because in the times of trouble and need, oh my God, my marriage is failing. I think I'm gonna put my marriage through a divorce. Oh my God, what did I do, God? Am I doing something wrong? What did I do wrong, God? And I get on my knees and I start praying like, no, man. No, man. It's negative because there's a lesson. Look, guys, hear me out. There is an opportunity for a lesson that is arising that we need to study and conquer. Look, study, take the test, pass the test, conquer. Come on, man. Study for the test, take the test, pass the test. And the word of God, it says, show yourself to be approved. Look, we can't prove ourselves in the first 5 months, in the first year, in the first 10 years of being together. We can't prove ourselves. But constantly we can be studying her, him, me. You know, we can be doing these things because look, it's going to take a process, man. It's a long, drawn out process. When me and Tiffany got together 25 years ago, we seen each other grow old together doing this life. We knew A and we knew Z. God never ever, brothers and sisters, listen to this. God gives us A and Z, but never the in between. Never the in between. The in between is what we got to walk out. That's what we have to walk out. We got to go through the fiery furnace. We got to go through the pressure. We got to go through the process to get to where Tiff and I are right now in life. And I'm telling you, man, every once in a while, our marriage as diamond status, we still have to go and get buff. We still got to go and get buff because we get dull sometimes. We get dull sometimes and we got to go through the buffering. We got to go through a buffering, you know. Hey, just 2 weeks ago, I got her so mad. She just told you, this is 100. We can't make this up. We're not perfect, but we're in diamond status because in the time that her mind said, look, what would happen if I would just walk out right now? This just happened 2 weeks ago. She just said, on my behavior, that's the next one. Check it out. On my behavior, the way I was talking, the way I was pushing chairs out the way, kind of like roughly and aggressively, she took it. She didn't want to take it no more. 25 years of the same boo nana. Look, she's gonna get fed up with it, and I'm got her there where the next step she needs to do. Look, brothers and sisters, the next thing she needs to do is pack her bags and leave the door, and I'm gonna be looking like, where are you going? You know? And so it's my behavior, guys. My behavior. I want to talk a little bit about behavior, man, because look, then my marriage was under pressure because I was in the world, man. I was selling. I was going out without Tiffany. There was a time, guys, that I was going to college. I went to college several times, but the last time I went to college, I was selling and I was hanging out with classmates more than I would my family. My behavior, my behavior caused the friction, the being put in the fiery furnace 2003, that whole stinking year and a half, man, because of my behavior, guys. Look, my behavior. I own it. I own it. Some of you guys, some of you ladies out there, y'all need to own y'all's doggone faults. Own it. If you don't like it, you can switch it. You can switch that mindset. We have two choices for those types of mindsets, either to get rid of it or to ride it. And look, I chose to be just, you know what? Because she was having 6 to 10 seizures a week. It was because of my behavior. I was stressing her out. There was a point in time in our marriage that the doctor told us, look, Remy, you're going to have to prepare, man, because she's having so many seizures a week. She might not get up. She might not get up. Right there and then, brothers and sisters, my behavior changed. Let me tell you, my behavior changed because we had 2 kids. We had 2 kids. What am I going to be looking like without her in my kids' life? How am I supposed to tell my kids what happened to her? Oh, man, I was such a bad dad. I was such a bad husband that I didn't want to stop playing the field out there. And I kept leaving and not coming home. And because of that, mom got stressed out so bad that she dropped to the floor and she didn't make it. How am I supposed to tell that to some child of mine. Huh? I can't. And so I had to switch. I had to switch my mindset from the pessimistic mindset that we talked about last week. I had to change it over there to optimistic.
Yeah.
Optimistic.
Not only that, it was the behavior. We had talked about it. How did I say it? It was something that you had to change for yourself because
Mm-hmm.
you couldn't love me the way that you needed to.
Yeah, which is barriers. The next one.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself there.
Wait, hey,
I'm sorry.
We're thinking about the same
Yeah,
thing because look,
yeah.
there are barriers in the marriage. While I was out there spilling my love, guys, I want y'all to hear me while I'm talking to this. Look, while I'm talking in the camera, I was young and dumb, and you know the rest of the saying. I was young and dumb, and at that age, I was spilling my love everywhere. Couple women, whatever. I wasn't on the right mind because my mind was I wanted women. Because look, if I could just take it back a little bit, when I was being raised, I remember, playing neighborhood hiding and seek, and there'd be a drinking party between the block right there, where we was living, where I was getting raised over there in Wayside and Emily and Fulton and all that over there, right? At nighttime, we would play neighborhood hide and seek. Cousins, neighbors, everybody be out there, right? We knew what mom and dad in the neighborhood adults were doing inside the house. They were watching cochinas, is what we say, cochinas. They were watching the nasties, right? And me and my cousins, like we would dip off, but we wouldn't dip on the other side of the block. We just dip off right there because me and him started, hey, something, mom and dad, they doing something. Like, yeah, they doing something. And we go over there and we trying to find a little pico. And guess what? They was watching the cochinas, the nasties, right? And so that grew on me, man. That grew on me. And so when I got Tiffany, look, it wasn't enough. I was trying to go back to Bible old times. I wanted a wife. I wanted 3 wives with 5 concubines, and maid servants and bond servants. I wanted the whole 9. My behavior, man, it set up barriers. Look, another barrier, it was my love that I was spilling across. And this is what we talked about. She said, that I had to reteach myself how to love her because I spilled my love on other women, that I could not love her the way she needed me to love her. So I had to reteach myself. After in 2007, 10 years later of being together, she drew an ultimatum. I took it. I said, look, bam, I'm making a change. I come back. 2007, brothers and sisters, let me tell you, I started changing up my language barrier with her because it was all about me and Remy G. It was all about the team of I. It wasn't this team. I didn't know back then that when me and her got together, we made a team of 1. I understood the way I was raised up. I was a team of I. She was a team of 2 over there on her side. She was taking care of what needed to be taken care of at home. I was out there busting my knuckles, bringing in the bacon. And because I was bringing in the bacon, I got to go out when I wanted to. That. Come on, man. That was a stucky behavior, man. That was actually a barrier too, man. I'm telling you right now, guys, listen to us. These are real facts. We cannot make these up. This is coming from the center of our marriage. We're letting y'all guys come in and explore what is going on in our marriage, and we're spilling it out. Y'all take it how y'all want to, but we want to be here to be that strong arm to say, hey, bro,
we can make it.
We went through it.
One thing I want to say on the behavior part too is, like, not only did you have Before you had to reteach yourself to love me, you had to learn how to love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because you really didn't love yourself the way you thought you did.
Right.
You were so full of insecurities. Not only you, myself, I had my own insecurities as well.
Yeah.
But we both had to truly learn how to love our own selves.
Yeah.
Before we could fully love each other the way we needed to love each other.
Right.
You know, it's that all goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Because you have to deal with those insecurities. If you don't deal with those insecure behaviors,
yeah, man,
it'll stir the pot for a lot of stuff you don't want it to.
Yeah. And we're putting through the fiery furnace, man. Let me see these things right here. These things right here. These things will put your marriage in the fiery furnace and as long as possible, because those doggone electronics is what get in between people's marriages, man. I mean, real quick in a heartbeat, man. You hear the phone go off like over there, you kind of wonder who's that, you know. There was times when I was doing my mobile mechanic business down there in B County that I had to tell her, look, I'm going over here. It's a female. I'm going to this address. This is I pin my location, give it to her. Like I had to really build some trust because of 10 years that I was putting our marriage through the fiery furnace, guys. Look, it was hard, man. When I was out there busting my knuckles trying to provide for my family and build the trust back, build the togetherness. Look, the unity. That's the next one. The unity. When I was building the unity back together, man, it was tough, guys. It was tough because the first 10 years that I put my marriage through was flipped upside down. And I'm telling you right now, brothers and sisters, that you are capable of unifying your togetherness in such a way that people would look at your marriage and say, look, they've been through the process. They've been through the heat. They've been through the pressure. Look, as a matter of fact, when their marriage was hidden, it wasn't hidden because they were loud and partying and doing all of this stuff. But look, I got to say that our marriage was hidden in God, man. It was hidden in God. God was covering our marriage with with his wings. He was protecting it. It's a covenant bond. Just as we've been talking here, it's a covenant bond. Now, ours too, and this is my last one, and we're gonna end on this one. Your marriage has to. We've been talking about it all night. It has to be put through the extreme heat. Why? Because when it comes to friends, look, when I got married in 2007, and I got rid of all the crap, because look, I'm gonna put the scripture up there right now because this is a perfect time. 1 Corinthians 13:11. When I was a child, I spoke as a child, I thought as a child, I understood as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things, guys. I put away childish things. Look, extreme heat. When I put those things up, the childish things. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now what it was. The childish things that I was doing, I was drinking way too much. I was heavily drinking. I was going out there to taverns and bars, cantinas, and, the pub, the rincon, the bar over there in the corner. I was going to these places and I was getting full of that alcohol. And then when I was full of that alcohol, when that female approached me, I took it to another level. Right there and then, guys, my wife was no longer in my picture, man. It was only me, myself, and that female, man. And so when I had to realize, look, when I got married in 2007, I had to put all that stuff away. She came to me one final last time and said, this is it. I can't do it no more. Either you come or I'm grabbing the kids and I'm out. Let me tell you, if that wasn't extreme heat at that time, that was like a torch. Just, lighting me up.
Yeah, for some reason,
For
that
lighting me
time he
up.
knew I was serious.
Yeah.
I never threw that around very lightly at all.
I had to be put through the heat, man, because I was hanging around friends. I was hanging around friends who only wanted me around because I was buying the beer. I was providing the quarters for the pool table. After the bar closed at 2 o'clock, it was to Remy's house. I had to cut all that crap out, man. Did I lose a lot of friends? All of them. All of them, because none of them back me now, bro. We don't have any friends. We don't have any friends. I tell you, I'm telling you because I'm not making this up. We don't have any friends. And when I say that, I'm talking about friends. We know what friends are. Brothers and sisters, y'all my brothers and sisters, y'all support us in every way. We support y'all's marriage in every way. There is not a friend on this earth worth your marriage. There's he or she, let him go. Let her go. Cut the ties. Because guess what? If your spouse gets tired of your friend, you'll be sleeping with your friend. You'll be sleeping with your friend because your spouse is going to leave, man. Your spouse is going to leave. Look, cousins, aunts, uncles in the same game. Hey, that was childish stuff for me. I had to grow up. I had to grow up. Why? Because I wanted to be with this one. When she drew that last straw, it was the last straw. And right there and then I knew it. Look, I had the power. I had the power to change my mind that day, man. That day I had the power to change. Look, another one that you have to put your marriage through the heat of is your coworkers. Your coworkers. When you're spending 50, 60, 70 hours a week at work, you're spending most of your precious time. Matter of fact, you are leaving your precious family to turn in time for money. I don't get that anymore. I got a 9 to 5, right? But I only make it to a certain point. 50 hours, that's all I'm gonna give them. Because I have life after that. And look, if my wife has a seizure and they call me, boom, I'm gone. My wife is more important than that 9 to 5. I would drop the 9 to 5 in a heartbeat to come and get mine, man. Because we've been through hell of hand water, man. We've been through it. We've been through enough stuff in this 25 years that if I didn't jump for her, oof. If I didn't jump for her, come on, man.
Better jump. As soon as I snap.
And the way you do it, you self-talk. You self-talk to yourself, brothers and sisters. Talk to yourself. This is what I did. I love my wife. I love my wife that she had my kids. I love my wife so much she had kids with me that had grandkids. I love my wife so much that if I didn't have her, I'd be lost. I'd be a lost cause. And so, therefore, guys, that's how we have made it to diamond status. We have put all these things together for you and your marriage, you and your spouse, and for everybody else out there. Look, your marriage, if it's going through rough times, if you've been together 40 years, I don't care. If you've been together 4 months, y'all been married 4 months, I don't care. God got y'all hidden. Y'all's marriage is hidden. It is not ready to blossom until we have been put through the fiery furnace and got all the impurities burnt off of us. That's why the reason when we get burned to that point, now we're capable of loving the one we need to love the way they need to be loved. Tell me about it, man. Come on. Hey, Is this good or what? Come on, man. Let's get the amens crossed there, man. Now, huh? This is some good stuff, man. Look, Tiffany and I, we love y'all with the love of the Lord, man. Like we're not perfect. We're striving to be perfected, but we will never ever get there. Jesus Christ is the only perfect being in this world. We will never ever hit that status. As long as we're in hot pursuit, we're gonna be just fine. And we're gonna get that diamond status. Look, come on, man. Who wants to reach 25 years like Tiffany and Remy G? Come on, man. Let's come on,
it's a
man.
wonderful feeling. Let me
It
tell
is.
you.
It is. Hey, we still have those times, man, where she wants to walk out. Hey, I got those times where I just blow up.
Mm-hmm.
Not perfect. We're not perfect. I know y'all guys aren't perfect. Because if y'all guys were perfect, y'all wouldn't be watching our podcast, man. So, hey, I'm glad y'all tuned in tonight, man. Just, hey, keep staying tuned, man. Hey, we're going to keep going, be put through the fire. We're going to practice. We're going to nail this thing to the wall. Hey, man, we're out there for y'all, man. We love y'all's marriages, man. It's a beautiful thing. Look, nobody tells y'all they love y'all. Me and Tiffany, we love y'all guys. Until next week. Hey, God bless y'all. Yes.